So we should meditate on the goddess Lakshmi being churned right out of the ocean of milk, and she's just like, I'm here for you. You know, that's who I am. You know, she's got no issues. You know, none of the issues that we've got. She's pure unconditional love. It's beautiful. And she appeared like electricity, surpassing the lightning that might illuminate a marble mountain. She's effulgent.
She's
We're gonna light
effulgent.
up. Yeah, when we become selfless.
She has no issues. We have issues.
That's it.
I got
Lakshmi
more.
Devi has no issues.
I got more issues than National Geographic, Kaustubha.
That's right.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Udaipur, Rajasthan in India. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York City, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. Still in Rajasthan, living it up.
And you got like a nice Rajasthani beard mustache thing going on. You
Yeah,
trimmed it,
it's the Maharaj look.
You're hanging out in these palaces and you're just kind of like taking on the mood here. Right?
Taking on the bob of the Maharans. Oh, yeah. The real thing I'm attracted to in this city is the passion for Bhakti.
I thought you were going to say the opulence and
The opulence and the luxurious and the fine food. Yes. But
No,
I
it's
will
the
say, no,
mood.
it is the mood of singing. We say Bhakti is not necessarily taught, it's caught. And you catch it here. I mean, I'm a pretty big mouth, and I can lead a pretty rip-roaring kirtan, and then I stop, and I'm overwhelmed and I'm just like a child reaching for the moon. These guys are out of control. They're louder, bigger, more entertaining.
They out Raghu.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, I'm usually like the main attraction.
Like
or
you're running down, and then they're coming in like, hey, the glove gym has just arrived.
Oh man, I'm going to. Yeah, it's just like, I do my Brindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai, and they're all like,
Every time
they just keep going, and then they kick in another bhajan, and I'm just like, and my voice is going down, theirs is getting bigger. Then a lady comes over, she takes over, the guy goes back, a 75-year-old guy starts dancing. I'm just like dwarfed. I'm just like, it's humbling. But it's beautiful to witness there. The joy on their faces, man. I just posted a guy on my stories. This guy is so beautiful. I love him. He must be 80 years old, 75 years old. And I've never seen joy like this guy's got in his eyes. And they just do it all. This party doesn't stop. I was just thinking, all these people have go to New York
stop,
City.
won't stop.
All these people like the idea of partying. We got the party. It's in Udaipur. The party is in Udaipur. And there's no hangover. It's ever fresh. The people are inspired. They're joyful. Their eyes are clear. Man.
You were made for North India, Raghunath.
You know what? I have this whole turbo scenario that they're going to take me in and say, we feel you are a part of us. Come live with us. Yeah. That's
South
what I was
India,
thinking.
They would be looking at you like, get out of here.
Get out of here.
You're trying to destroy our culture.
I'm going to hit you with the stick.
In North India, they're like, you're all you are one of us.
We've been waiting for you.
What took you so long?
I want to be adopted into their family.
All right. Now,
Anyway.
Raghunath, I had a Krishna miracle today.
Yeah, I'm a skeptic when it comes to Krishna miracles.
This miracle is mathematically provable that it's a miracle. Okay, it's not.
I'm
just
always
like,
hey, a bird landed on my balcony. It's a Krishna miracle.
yeah. This one is mathematically.
I want to hear your Krishna miracle, and I will be the judge.
Okay, so the group that I've been teaching here, we did like a group excursion today to the holy place, Prayag.
Dave
the
Prayag.
origin-
I love it.
The origin of the Ganga, the sacred spot where the two rivers meet. Go
The
ahead.
confluence of the Alakananda and the Bhagirath.
Oh, it's God, the atmosphere there, Raghunath, is just like off
It's
the charts.
breathtaking.
It's so beautiful there, and
The
just as
famous
soon as you get there,
Raghunath temple.
oh, the Raghunath temple. It's like
Little
like
picture of
there's
me there.
happiness in the atmosphere, you know. It's like you feel the Pandavas have been here. Lord Shiva is
Yeah.
here. You know,
Yeah.
Lord Brahma is here. Lord
Ram.
Ram is here. Oh, man, you bathe in the places that the saints and the sadhus and the incarnations, the avatars have been bathing for so many centuries. You go to the Raghunathi temple, which is like 1,400 years old. People have been walking up that steep staircase, you know, stone staircase. How many great saints, how many pilgrims, how many self-realized beings have come to this spot again and again and again, and then you dip in that river, which is a river of liquid, you know, bhakti, you know, and oh man, it is just
Isn't it
such
cool how
greatness.
if you were looking at it from above, you see the two colors of the river merging?
Yeah,
Very cool, huh?
very cool. So I've been looking forward to coming here for a long time. As soon as, I mean, the whole way that you're driving up, you're just going higher and higher into the mountains, and you get these incredible views of, you know, just, what do they call it? Ranges of mountains, like beautiful, massive mountains, and the Ganga flowing in the valley below, way, 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 way down there. It's just great.
All right, on with the miracle, please.
Okay, here's the miracle. So then, you know, I arrive there. I'm in bliss. I'm walking across the bridge, the footbridge.
Yeah.
I'm bumping into beautiful pandas and connecting and feeling great. And then I walk down and I get down to the bathing ghat.
Okay.
And I was waiting for the rest of the group to arrive, and I said, you know what, let me go to the bathroom before I bathe. And then someone
Okay.
pointed out it's over in that direction. As I'm walking across, they have these like stone archways with like open rooms where especially the women go there to change after they bathed. There's no like doors or walls or anything. So like I saw one lady holding up like a towel so that another lady inside could dress.
Right.
And
Open
as a
door
gentleman,
changing rooms. Yeah.
yes, and as a gentleman, I averted my gaze and walked on.
Good boy.
And went to the bathroom. I'm coming back, and I can see that the two have switched now. And
No, the other one's
the one-
changing.
the one that was changing is now outside holding up a towel in front of the other one. And as
Yeah,
I'm getting
picturing
close,
this.
I'm looking, and then that person's looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and then it's Hari Priya.
Oh, that's weird. That's a Christian miracle.
Thank you. Thank you.
I give you that one. That's good. She is the one we just mentioned. Yeah, did we mention her on the show yesterday?
Raghunath, that makes it a double Krishna miracle.
That's a double.
because
We just mentioned the Krishna miracle about passing Hari Priya's boat on the Ganga a year ago on pilgrimage
At
in
Varanasi.
Varanasi.
So you last year, now you're someone that
Did
had
I
never
mention
been
that
to
on the show
Varanasi.
yesterday?
I don't remember, but in any
I
case.
mentioned it in my Sangha at least.
Yeah.
I said it yesterday. I don't know if it was on the show or at the Sangha.
So
But
you went to a
wow.
holy place, and you were on a boat, and you bumped into her on a boat, and
In
she
a
was
city
there
of
to take
23 million, someone chat GPT that.
and a place that you've never been to in your entire life, and she's probably been there once, or maybe not even been there in her entire life, and the two of you, bing, on two boats in the river. And so now I've never
There's
been
millions
to,
of boats
to,
in the Ganga. There's millions of boats going in the Ganga. That's what they do for fun in Varanasi.
And so I have never, ever been to Dev Prayag in my life. And the one moment that I go there, boom, there's Hari Priya, you know, who lives in Mumbai, you know, 1,000 miles away. And we looked at each other and said, look at that. And what a joy it was to see her. You know, she works, we serve with her closely. She and her husband kind of run the Govardhan Eco Village. He was there. It was great. It was so sweet to see them. You going to join the show, Raghu? What are you doing?
Yeah, I am. I'm just searching how many people live in India. And it comes out to
about
1
a billion.
billion 400 1 billion. The current population is 1 billion
Yeah.
454 million
Yeah.
921,000. and you ran it to Hari Priya, and I ran it to Hari Priya. That's a Krishna miracle.
On the Ganga at completely different places. You know, if I would have arrived 10 minutes later, I would have missed her. You know?
Yes.
Something's going on.
Matter of
right?
fact, if you would have just mathematically, that's implausible.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put up that with Okay, you've performed one miracle. I think you need 2 more to become a saint.
All right, I'll work on it. I told you that was a miracle. You were skeptic. I told you.
It was. I
Miracle.
was skeptic because you're such a skeptic of mine. Every time I say had a miracle, you're like, no,
I
you
said
didn't.
that one was a miracle. I granted that one miracle status
All right.
for you. Look at you sipping your tea there with your finely
It's my
with-
afternoon
with-
tea and my
with,
curly
with your-
mustache.
with your finely groomed beard and mustache. Yes, Raghunath, yes. You're fine now. You used to have stains on your shirt and ripped up clothes.
Can I share something with
You
you?
didn't have sleeves. Look at you. Look at you.
Good day, Mr. Kaustubha. Good day.
Care for
Can I
some
share
tea?
I'm really facing off with my mortality lately.
Oh yeah. What
I don't
happened?
know if you think about it, but on a regular basis, like every day, a few times a day, I'm facing off with this fact that, God forbid something to happen to Mara or Janeshwar or anybody. It's like, oh my God, they died. But if I was to die or you was to die, I'd be like, yeah, they died. That's what people do. It's like we're at that age where this is where people die. It's not even like, oh, it's too bad. I'm going to miss them. But yeah, I get that. Well, I'm
Almost
saying they'd
60
miss me, but
We got 1 year and 3 months until we're 60. That's it.
I can't believe it. I'm facing off with this, like, seriously. Like, how's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Is it going to be, am I going to trip? Am I going to stumble? A car accident? Am I going to fall
Raghunath,
off
you
a
don't
ledge?
know.
Is it a
Don't
pack
even-
of dogs? It's like I'm
Just
obsessed
check
with
around.
it.
Just do your kirtan and be happy.
I
Because
know,
you're going
but
to do the
sometime-
same thing.
Sometimes I'm doing kirtan. I was like, this might be the last one.
It's interesting because none of the things that you just mentioned as your possible causes of death have anything to do with your age.
That's true. That could happen to
Pack of dogs, car accident, falling off a cliff.
You got a good point there.
No,
Matter of
those
fact,
dogs,
at
they
my
look for
age-
old people, Mara. They look for the old ones.
At my age, I'm a little bit wiser. I carry a stick around the packs of dogs. I drive very, very slow now. I'm a little bit more conservative the way I drive. I never go to ledges anymore.
Okay, Raghunath, we got to check in with Mara. We got to do the announcements. Then we got a nugget.
I'm gonna nugget.
We got a show to do.
There you go. Can I share the best thing about India that's not spiritual?
Okay. No,
Okay.
actually, no. You can't.
Come on. They wash your
Keep it
clothes
spiritual.
and they
I guess you can
it's
tell me
when
that.
you get your shirt back, it's like you just purchased it from the Gap. Perfectly
Raghunath,
ironed.
They do that in
I don't think I've
America
ever
too,
ironed.
but it's
I don't
just
think I've
really
ever
expensive.
ironed anything in my life. Perfectly
Okay.
ironed, perfectly folded. Anyway, he knows, but people
Mara's
don't
like,
know.
I do that for him. Once
I
a
don't
week.
iron his socks.
No one, Mara does my laundry. She's just very sweet.
I do your laundry.
I know she does my laundry. She doesn't iron and press it, but I'm okay. I'm not asking for it. But it is special when they roll up your socks for you and iron your underwear. Come on. Anyway, it's totally material.
Even if I ironed, I would draw
But
the
Raghunath,
line.
they do that in America. You just have to be rich. That's all there is to it.
All right. If Wisdom of the Sages has been helpful in your life and you'd like to contribute to our work, please log on to wisdomofthesages.com and become a supporting member of our Sage community platform. For a minimum $5 monthly contribution, you get access to a wide range of live and archived classes, community chat, merchandise, retreat registrations, and so much more. Log on to wisdomofthesages.com and join today.
Who came up with that copy?
That's
Linda,
probably
Linda. I gotta have a talk with her. You never ask for the minimum amount. You ask for.
Raghunath, let's keep this moving. You can
All
have
I'm
that talk
saying
with her if you
is,
like.
You don't. Some people are like, "Yeah, I want to give $20," and they're, "Oh, $5? Okay."
Okay. All right.
I have to figure out
Yes.
everything around here.
Raghunath, you don't figure out anything around here, okay?
I know. I'm going to have
Linda,
to start.
Linda's the one that's figuring everything out.
The reason why Wisdom of the Sages income is sinking. Okay. Here's the nugget. This is from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who I stole the name of one of her books for a song called Death and Dying.
Death and Dying, yeah.
On Death and Dying. I was reading that when my father died. I think modern medicine, she says, has become like a prophet, offering a life free of pain.
Perhaps
It's
a
nonsense.
false prophet.
A false prophet, yep.
Remember the false prophets?
The only thing I know that truly heals people is unconditional love.
Yeah.
Not always,
Thoughts?
but it helps.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not
Um,
focused on the medicine. Like, I'm not telling you not to go and throw your meds out or anything like that. But this was a woman that really studied death, dying, what people are going through, their psychology through it all. And her conclusion was that there's really only one thing that really heals people, heals them of their pain, of their suffering, of all their issues.
Sure.
And that's unconditional love. Receiving it, but also giving it, right?
I was sort of lamenting the family unit in America and what it's become, because I was with these three brothers today. They all live with their wives. They have a business here in Udaipur. They all live, and I was buying some stuff for our gift shop there. They all live with their wives in their father's home. Their father's like the head honcho. He's probably 75 now. He's an artist. He's just incredible. And they're just taking care of business. They have other jobs too, but they support him and his business. But
They got a whole
their
thing going
father's got dengue fever right now.
Oh.
And they're all taking care of him. They're all taking care of him, loving him, staying by his side, running the business for him. It's just like, it's beautiful. All the cousins are playing together. They all live communally, and they all seem to get along great. I mean, maybe I'm seeing it from a side.
Sometimes those
It's
families
just-
fight with each other. And
Yeah, sometimes they fight like cats
That
and dogs.
happens. But that's gonna
But
happen.
there's
This is the material
there's a
world.
beauty of, kids growing up with their cousins, the brothers are staying together. They're all supporting the father. This brings me back to the point here. Oftentimes we ship our parents away, and our parents are lonely. My mom's like the only old lady that's not lonely. She's just like, she's fully self-satisfied. But otherwise, it's like it gets lonely. All the kids are gone. Everyone's away. There's no hope for the future anymore. And I think that when you isolate a person either through chronic sickness or through being in the hospital for a long period of time or getting old, the world can become lonely. There's like it's like we've missed community. Wisdom of Sages has a community. It's special that we have a community because people don't have community anymore. That thing about the Jagdish temple where we go, the most wonderful thing about that temple is the community. And they're all different ages, all different genders. You know what I mean?
How many?
All different genders. There's thousands of genders walking in that door. It's like the bar at the Star Wars arcade or whatever that is. But the idea is that all people from different economic strata, and they're all just singing together. It's like beautiful to witness.
All right. And you feel sort of unconditional love in that atmosphere? Like they accept you?
That too. Yeah, I feel it's not only a community, it's a welcoming community.
Right.
It's a loving, welcoming community.
There's no conditions. Anyone can join. Anyone could be part of it. Raghunath, I'm over here. Anytime.
I know. It's someone's writing
You can
something.
respond to things I
Iba,
say
who's
every now and
Indian.
then.
Iba's saying, as soon as I get a raise, I can handle more. In our culture, it has been frowned on to live in a community because it's seen as poor to live communally, but it's poor. But it's healthy. She says it's healthy.
Well, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, she was saying that this unconditional love is what's healthy. It gets to the bhakti principle, right? Our principle is that unconditional love is our natural state. It's not like some emotion that you feel for some amount of time. It's our operating system, that we're meant to be operating on all the time. And until we do, we're going to be dissatisfied. Until we do, we're going to feel pain. Until we do, we're going to feel disease. We're going to feel out of it. We're going to feel dis-ease, right? We're not going to feel the type of natural ease that we're meant to feel all the time. It's unconditional love. And when we talk about unconditional love in a world of cheating and hypocrisy and abuse, even talking about it can sound like triggering or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
But we're living in a Groundhog Day, Raghunath, and there's lessons to learn. And it's meant to be kind of training us. You know, we repeat lifetime after lifetime, and it's either evolve or repeat it again. And we're meant to evolve and evolve and evolve until we come to the practical place of unconditional love, right? Love without any motive. Love without wanting something in a self-centered way. Love on the spiritual level for God and through God for every living being.
It's polishing our conception of love. Maybe when we're children, we thought that love was getting stuff from mom and dad. That's love. If you really love me, you'll get me this. Or maybe in our teenage years, the idea of love was sex. So sexuality is love. I love her. Oh, I love her. No, love is much different. We're getting refined, Kaustubha. The gem is getting polished.
Nice, nice. All right, why don't we dive into the? We're gonna hear maybe.
Why don't you
some
learn to love
related
me?
stuff. I love you, Raghunath. I love you.
Prove
There's
it.
just some conditions on it. Like
I
stop
know.
looking at the chat board
Time
right
for
now.
unconditional love. Next time I look at the chat board, I'm gonna go. UL. Conditional love, please. Love me despite. Narayanam namaskrityanam shaivanarottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is of our means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord, Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and the Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesh vabhadreshu nicham bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavatanashtaki. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respect at their lotus feet. Reading for the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Churning of the Ocean of Milk, Chapter 8. Canto
Text 1.
Canto 8, Chapter 8. Text. Oh, all right, that's
We got
right.
a new chapter, Bubba.
It was a weird day yesterday in the show.
Up on the roof.
Yeah. Okay. This is Sukadeva Goswami speaking.
What's the chapter's title?
The Churning of the Milk Ocean.
Yeah. So they got started, but all this poison came out, and then Lord Shiva had to be brought into the scene. Lord Shiva, who demonstrated what it means to be a great personality, that he voluntarily accepted suffering for the benefit of others. Drank that poison. He got a blue neck for it, right?
Yeah.
But that was considered an ornament on him because it was a manifestation of his compassion for others. All right.
The message
now,
board is saying I
that,
skipped Om Gyana to run this. Yeah.
Yeah, you skipped something. I know you did skip something. I think you gave the
Sorry,
translation for Om Gyana, but you.
Yeah.
Chakshur Umilitam Yena.
Tasmai Shri Gudavedama. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
This message board is all over me.
We're gonna, Myra, could you shut down the message board, please? He's lost. You're on the wrong side of him right now. You guys, you're drinking tea. Something's different today, you know? Like you're sipping tea like aristocrats over here and losing touch. You're living in a palace. And you're taking on, you're being affected by the whole atmosphere. You too, Mara. I
It's
see it.
Maharani Mara. Okay, text 1. Sukadeva Goswami continued, upon Lord Shiva's drinking the poison, both the demigods and the demons, being very pleased, began to churn the ocean with a renewed vigor. As a result of this, there appeared a cow known as Sarabi. So they're churning, and bloop, out comes a cow.
That must have been
If
very
you've ever
encouraging.
churned,
You know, after
like,
all that
okay,
poison.
this thing's working.
Yeah.
Well, it's all this work, and then the poison came out.
You know, think, we need to think about what the devas are going through, right? Because the devas are kind of like, when we hear about the devas in this whole Leela, in this whole pastime, look at me, Raghu. I'm talking. As soon as I'm talking, you're just like, you're gone. Just stay with me, man. Come on. It's like,
they're shooting cannonballs from the palace. It's just like
you're going to have to forget about that. You're going to have to forget about those cannonballs that actually are not being shot. and stay with me here. I was saying that we need to think about the devas and what they're going through, because a lot of it is really like, what are we going through in life, right? They were
Right.
suffering. Their world got turned upside down. They were panicking.
Well, they
turned
lost
to-
everything.
They
They
lost
lo-
everything.
They lost everything.
And now they got the message that there's an answer to this. You're gonna get this nectar of immortality. It's gonna revive you. But in order to get it, it's not gonna be as easy as you think. You're gonna have to learn to work cooperatively with not only people that you don't like, with your very enemies. And they're gonna be churning
People that want to kill you.
people that want to kill you. They're gonna be churning that thing just so that they can get the nectar and
Yeah.
use it against you. And you got to sit there churning and be nice to them and be kind to them and tolerate what they're saying. And you don't even know how you're going to get that nectar in the end, because like there's no guarantee that you're going to get it. You just have to have faith in Vishnu. He told you it's going to be make any sense. You got people that are just as powerful, if not more powerful than you, that are going to want to snatch the result of it right from under your nose. And meanwhile,
Now
you're
the-
suffering like crazy going through the whole thing. It's pretty hard to say, let me just keep going on with enthusiasm.
Now, because we don't make butter for the most part in our culture, if you have made it, you understand. I've only made it twice. I mean, or I've only made butter a few times. Actually, I've made it 3 different
You've
ways.
never made butter. Just admit it, Raghu.
No, I've churned butter, sir. I've churned butter, but I've also made it in a Vitamix, and I've made it in a bottle. So if you make it in a bottle, it's very interesting. You shake it. You shake heavy cream. You shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Then it turns to whipped cream. Then you keep going. Somehow you're shaking heavy whipped cream. And then all of a sudden something happens. It just goes bloop, and it splits into 2 completely different foods, butter and buttermilk. Now, now I understand when you're churning the ocean of milk, the cow just goes bloop and just appears. Poison just goes bloop. Kaustubha gem, bloop. Nectar, bloop. That's what happens. It just bloops out like when you least expect it. But it takes a lot of sweat and hard work, or the Vitamix on high.
Did you listen to anything I said, Raghu? Or did you, I mean, anything at all?
Yeah, but I just thought this was a.
All right.
I
No,
thought
that's a
this
great
was an
point.
interesting.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying that us as human beings, we're going to have to learn to cooperate with people that we don't like. We're going to have to, we're going to get things are never going to go as smooth as we expect them to go in this world. Get used to it. Accept it. The devas, these are the guys on the highest levels of the universe. And even them, they're like, what? I got to cooperate with them? And I don't even know how this is all going to work out.
And they're like refugees. They've lost everything.
Yeah.
They've lost their wealth. They lost their homes.
Don't expect anything to go smooth. Don't expect it to all. It's not going to work out unless you just kind of have faith and depend on Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna. All right, so they got the cow. That wasn't, and it's not just an ordinary cow. This is a Sarabi cow. That'll give you unlimited milk.
Cow of plenty.
Yeah. Okay, text 2.
All right. O King Cricket. Great sages who were completely aware of the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies took charge of that Sarabi cow, which produced all the yogurt, milk, and ghee absolutely necessary for offering oblations into the fire. They did this just for the sake of pure ghee, which they wanted for the performance of sacrifice to elevate themselves to the higher planetary systems up to Brahmaloka. Very interesting. Yeah.
They had their powerful rituals, and ghee is like, central to the whole thing. The demons are not interested in the cow, right? They're like, you want the cow? These rishis, these sages, these priests came along and they're like, oh, we're gonna take that cow. All right, go ahead, you can have the cow.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you don't know what this cow can do.
Now another animal's coming out of the butter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, a horse named Uchai Shrava, which was as white as the moon, was generated. Bali Maharaj desired to possess this horse, and Indra, the king of heaven, did not protest, for he had previously been so advised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's like, let him take the horse. We got bigger things to go.
Yeah, just do what
as
they
the
say.
Next result of churning, guess what came out next? An elephant named Airavata.
king.
What was interesting about Airavata, Mara? Can you name something about it without looking at the board?
He had 4 tusks.
I think he had
Nice.
4 tusks and he flew. If I saw an elephant with 4 tusks, I'd be like, interesting. If I saw a flying elephant, I'd be like, very interesting.
Yeah.
He's an interesting
Can we keep
animal.
the Can we keep the flying
And,
elephant?
Yeah. As the next, okay. So okay. The elephant was white with 4 tusks, and it defied the glories of Kailash Mountain,
Which is
the
like
glorious abode of Lord Shiva. Thereafter, O king, 8 great elephants, which could go in any direction, were generated. They were headed by Airavana. 8 she-elephants headed by Abramu were also generated. Okay.
she elephants.
Generated thereafter from the great ocean were celebrated gems like the Kaustubha money,
Mm,
the Padmaraga money. I never heard of that, or
me
maybe
neither.
missed it. Lord Vishnu, to decorate his chest, desired to possess them. Generated next was the Parijata flower, which decorates the celestial planets. O king, as you fulfill the desire of everyone on this planet by fulfilling all ambitions, the Parijata fulfills the desires of everyone. Very interesting. A heavenly tree.
Yeah, wish fulfilling.
Next, there appeared the Apsaras, who are used as prostitutes on the heavenly planet. Huh.
Whoa.
No more of an explanation. I thought it was going to go into a little bit more detail. Like, did they want to be prostitutes, or was it just their job?
I think they're fine with it.
Right?
And I don't think it's prostitutes. Like you can't consider it the same as what's going
Right.
on
You
around
know
here.
what? The word prostitute back then in the old days was used as like
They just
someone
slept
who
with
has
lots of
sex.
different men. Yeah.
It's just a lot of different people. They could have really enjoyed it.
Different rules over there.
They were fully decorated with golden ornaments and lockets and were dressed in fine and attractive clothing. The Apsaras move very slowly in an attractive style that bewilders the inhabitants of the heavenly planets. Wasn't the
Slow.
lady who wanted to have sex with Arjuna? Was she an Apsara,
Urvasi.
Mara?
Yes.
Yes, she was. And he refused because he was related to her, like ancestrally.
No,
He's
no,
like,
no.
I can't-
Because his father, Indra, had been with her, intimately.
Yes.
And
Yeah, he
so
said,
he
no,
says, I
like,
can only
look at you
see
as my mother.
Yeah. And
And
she
she
said,
says, you're using
Earth.
the dharma of Earth
Yeah.
on this planet. We don't follow those rules. We're Apsaras. We do everything.
It's like, that doesn't apply here. It's just a whole different rule book over here. And that's fine. We got no
Yeah.
problem here. And he's like, I'm sorry.
It's
but
like
I just can't."
you come to India, you're driving on the left side of the road instead of the right side.
Yeah.
That's it. Arjuna still didn't do it.
Nope. He couldn't
So-
adjust.
He couldn't adjust.
It ended
The
up
king of
with
heaven,
curse.
Indra, brought a
Cursed him.
suitable. Oh, wait, I skipped a few.
Then
Then there appeared the goddess of fortune, Rama. Like we have a Rama Devi who listens to our show all the time
yeah.
from
Then there's
Florida,
Lakshmi Devi, right?
who is absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She appeared like electricity, surpassing the lightning that might illuminate a marble mountain.
Okay, let's
Because of her
talk about-
exquisite beauty.
No, no, whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop. I don't know what to say because you get upset when I say like hold up, So like, I'm saying
Wow.
boop, 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 boop,
Boop, boop, boop, boop, also. And
boop. What can I say? Morgan, tell me when you're moving on, and I
please,
want
Baru, let's talk
but
about
you're-
this one a second.
please,
Okay, go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Let's read the commentary of this because I want to focus. I want to focus on this phrase where it said she was absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's an interesting phrase, and it might be a little bit feather ruffling, a bit triggering. Shouldn't we live for ourselves?
It triggered
and-
me.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
Yeah,
read the
it
commentary.
triggered me. Like, oh, my job is to be enjoyed by
Enjoyed.
them.
I live here.
It-
to
well,
enjoy-
it-
to be-
It just doesn't make sense. Like when we tell people, like, we want to be the best servant ever. People are like, why? Why would you want to be a servant? Why
All
would
right,
we want to be selfless?
Yeah.
Okay. Shri, S-R-I, means opulence. Krishna is the owner of all opulences. And he quotes a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, 529. Prabhupada calls this verse the peace formula. This peace formula for the world is given in Bhagavad Gita 529. When people know that the Supreme Lord, Krishna, is the supreme enjoyer, that's one, the supreme proprietor, that's two, and the most intimate, well-wishing friend of all living entities, peace and prosperity will ensue for all over the world.
Very interesting.
There we go. That's the
He's
peace
saying that
formula.
he's saying, well, you think the world's not peaceful? Yeah, you're right. And he's saying, you know why?
And this is why.
Yeah, because you're not understanding the central root of all existence, right? It's saying that the person who is the supreme proprietor, who owns everything, including our bodies, are made up of his energy, right?
Yeah.
And it says he's the supreme proprietor, he's the supreme enjoyer. Well, what do you mean? Can't I enjoy too? Like, most people live as if like their own enjoyment, that's that ranks the highest level, you know, on the priorities list. You know, like, well, first there's my enjoyment, right? He's saying,
Well,
no,
I'd like to
there's
hear other.
what?
Go on.
You sure?
I'd like to hear other people's ideas of their peace formula. Okay, you don't like this peace formula? What's your peace formula?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's look at this one first, and then we can see if we can come up with any better ones.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But okay, and
right.
those two maybe sound a little scary though, right? In other words, okay, there's another person. He's the supreme enjoyer in the whole picture. Great. He's also the supreme proprietor, like he owns everything and I don't own anything. Okay. That's also a bit triggering, a bit scary. And then you get this third one, but he's the most intimate, well-wishing friend of all living entities. And if you understand that, that was like, oh, that sounds nice.
Oh,
But
that's
if
okay.
you
That's good.
yeah. So if you understand that and operate in that consciousness, if you engage in that consciousness, if that becomes, what did we say earlier? That this idea of unconditional love, that it's not just an emotion that we pass through, but it's like, that's our natural state of being. That's what we're meant to be. That's what we're meant to return to. We're in a state of dis-ease because we're not there. This is the formula for settling into that ease. It's scary unless it's true. If it's true, if he's all three of those, well, then it makes perfect sense. You know, like, okay, let me be enjoyed. What if by being enjoyed, we enjoyed more? You know, what if there's nothing more enjoyable than being enjoyed by the perfect friend? You know, so I think, you know, adjusting to the idea that I exist for the pleasure of another, that's not just like temporarily, but like ontologically, eternally. That's my purpose. I was created for that purpose, to be enjoyed. That's a roadblock for a lot of people. But here's what are they called? The rub or whatever, you know, is that love requires it. If you're into love, well, that's what love requires, is that you come to a stage where you're no longer self-centered. You're like, your pleasure, your happiness, your well-being is more important to me than my own, because you mean that much to me, right? So, you know, that there's this, love is the principle that we're meant to discover, and love requires that kind of, I live for you, right?
Sure. That's what parenting is, the message board says, right?
Yeah. Yeah, parenting is like where you could, you know, if we're in a Groundhog Day where we're meant to learn this, you know, being born again and again to try to learn this lesson, I think parenting is like, you know, one of the primary ways where one can kind of like hopefully grasp this principle. Right? You know, this idea, I enjoy by being enjoyed. You know, it's almost like an erotic kind of thing, but we're saying it's a principle that operates, it's like the fundamental principle that the universe operates, you know. and that we can find our place in this universe, and we can
Right.
find complete unimaginable satisfaction and bliss when we exist entirely devoid of selfish motive. Like, that's the goal of existence. That's what we're meant to be working for. Think about, just consider it, and then try to put your triggers off to the side and think about this, as a theology, like that this is how the universe operates, right? Like, imagine two people in a relationship, right? And they enter into that relationship, they both like are full of self-interest. What can I get out of this? What can I get from this other person? As long as they're operating on that level, there's no real love, and there's always tension, But
No, it's
imagine,
desires. It's my bag of desires, and it ends up becoming my expectations of you. And it's the reason why I walk into the relationship with a bunch of desires, and then I sort of meet up with this lady or guy, and then I just sort of dump that all on them, or these are my desires, and it becomes expectations. And now this person isn't fulfilling all of my desires.
yes, yeah, it's doomed. It's a formula that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It won't work, But if as they go on, they evolve, and like through multiple mutual kind of affection, they gradually become like more concerned for the other, even above themselves. That's called love. Then we're getting to something that's really called love, and it's only when it reaches that point of like complete concern for the other over oneself that we call it pure love or unconditional love. And these texts are saying that's what we exist for. And here's the thing, that Krishna's already there. He's already operating on the level of pure unconditional love. He's willing to give himself more to us and accept nothing for himself. And he's just waiting for us to start to think that way, not for his own benefit, but for our own benefit, so that we can slip into place and let go of the dis-ease and actually experience the kind of love and bliss that we're meant to be experiencing. So he's just kind of waiting for us to come to his level. He's not demanding that we be on that level, and he won't be on that level. He's saying we only connect in love when we're both on the selfless level. So when Rama, when the goddess Lakshmi, when she comes churned out of that ocean of milk, she's already on that platform. I exist for you, I exist for you, like nothing but love in her heart, purely, I exist for you. She's already fully evolved. We're meant to hear this and not say like the way, man, but we're meant to hear this and contemplate it. What is that state of consciousness like? We're on a journey in this life.
Imagine if you were in prison, and you're with all the other cellmates and all the hardened criminals at the mess hall, and you go, "What I've done is absolutely wrong. It's time that I reform my life. I've made some foolish mistakes. We're all here to reform. Let's become better people." All the other criminals are looking at you like, "Who is this loser?" But you're actually saying what's actually right.
That's right.
That's the system. You broke the system, and you got thrown into a prison. And so the system is, we actually are here to be enjoyed. We are part of something much bigger. We do find our pleasure through service. That's the system. And we've fought against the system, and we're helplessly broken away from the whole, and it's becoming uglier and uglier. And we're trying to fix a problem without getting to the root of the issue in the first place. The root of the issue is we're divorced from God.
And we're selfish.
So, and what's your way to find the peace? What's your peace formula, Smarty Pants?
We have to increase the, what do they call it? The, no, not the, well, that's one way, I suppose.
Yeah.
No, the like the industrial complex, the military industrial complex.
Military industrial complex.
Yeah, when we have more bombs, then we'll have peace.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But I'm thinking, again, what's so fascinating and beautiful about this theology? This is a nuanced theology. It's not a simplistic one that's just saying believe or you go to hell. It's a beautifully poetic, nuanced.
Just trust God.
Yeah, but you know, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, in our Chaitanya Bhakti lineage, it's saying that Krishna, who is the center of all existence, he's seeing the selfless love of Radha for himself, and he's saying what she is experiencing on that level, I can't even imagine. I want to come in a form where I can love God like that and feel what it feels like. And then he says this prayer. In this prayer, you know, he only gives 8 prayers, right? And the last of the 8 is kind of like showing the fully evolved state that God himself comes to experience. And when you hear it, it sounds like, oh my God, he's like desperately codependent or something like that. He's really, no. In this world, it's desperately codependent. In the spiritual realm, this is like perfectly situated, you know, but he prays this, I know no one but Krishna is my Lord. Yeah. And he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything.
He is free to do everything and everything.
Yeah. For he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
I don't know if you're lagging or I'm lagging, Raghunath. You there? You're freezing up, Bubba. Today, I think it's you. Okay, hopefully Raghunath will come back. But yeah, I was reading from, this is the Shikshastakam prayer of Sri Chaitanya. In our theology, we're understanding that God wants to come. It's not like he's just saying, you be vulnerable, you exist for me. He's saying that position is actually the highest position. I want to experience it, you know. And there's this beautiful verse from later in the 9th canto of the Bhagavatam, where Krishna is describing his own heart and the heart of his devotees. And this kind of, you know, it's a real clue to, you know, our eternal existence, what we're doing in this universe, what it is that we're meant to learn, what it is that we're meant to discover or rediscover. You know, we may have fears, we may have anxieties about surrendering. When we hear verses about true unconditional love, it may sound to us like it's some kind of codependence or something like that. But here's a verse just to show that we just don't understand. Krishna is already living on that platform and inviting us to rise to it with him in perfect love. But he has this one verse. Sadhavo hridayam mayam sadhunam hridayam tvaham man anyat te najanati naham tebyo managapi. The pure devotee, Krishna is saying, the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart. Right? He's saying, in my heart, I'm always thinking about it's my devotees that are there, right? He says, the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always within the heart of the pure devotees. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them, right? They're always thinking of me. I'm always thinking of them. It's not a one-way street. As a matter of fact, he's the one that's already there, selfless. He's the one that's already there, ready to give himself entirely in unconditional love. And he's just saying, you can come on, step on up there on that platform with me. And when you do, you will enjoy being enjoyed. You know, like that's actually the real platform of happiness. You know, it may be difficult for us to wrap our heads around, but it's because we're living in a world that's where people abuse trust. We're living in a world where our trust has been abused, you know, and so we're hesitant, and we may be thinking like, I prefer an eternal existential kind of formula where I'm God, you know, or like there's no one beyond me that I'm dependent on or something. But there's no truth in that.
That's my peace formula.
Let me be God, and you.
Yeah, let me be God. That's my peace formula. You know, I was thinking about this when you read that last verse by Lord Chaitanya. Will you handle me roughly your embrace or make me brokenhearted? I'm free to do anything and everything. You're always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. That sounds so sickly codependent. We're supposed to have that relationship with God, by the way, not our partner, our spouse. We're trying to find this unconditional love here in this world. It's not going to work like that. You might get a person who's very loving and incredibly loving, But that unconditional love is reserved for Krishna. We have too much love that that one person can hold. Our love is meant to be reposed in the Lord. And the codependent idea is that I'm going to love and someone's going to take advantage of my love. The desire to give love is a very beautiful thing. People want to give love oftentimes, but because the person they're giving to is less than worthy, they exploit that love. They take advantage of it. Krishna will not. And Krishna actually reciprocates with your love and brings you higher and higher and higher. Reserve that intense amount of love for Krishna. And by doing so, you'll love everybody, and you'll love your partner as well, and your kids more, etc. It'll have more, your family will have more significance when you love Krishna deeper. Best thing you could do for your family. That was the point of this morning's morning sangha was best thing you could do for the people that you love is make yourself an internally clean vessel. Take care of your spirituality personally. Take 100% responsibility for your personality. Best Christmas gift you can give anyone. Best Hanukkah gift. Best form of love you can ever give the people close to you. Huh?
Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa. Best Kwanzaa gift you can give anyone is you take care of yourself as a spiritual being, and everybody benefits from that.
Nice, Raghu. Nice. Yeah, it's only because we've been warped by a warped world does it sound so horrible, so triggering, right? But it's actually, it's actually the highest position. Why don't we finish off this this purport? It's short, and wrap up the day with it. It's really nice.
Sure. Unfortunately, the conditioned souls, being placed into illusion by the external energy of the Lord, want to fight with one another, and therefore peace is disturbed. The first prerequisite for peace is that all the wealth presented by Shri, right, the goddess of fortune, be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's so like, oh yeah, just see, the religion wants my money. Everyone should give up this false proprietorship over worldly possessions and offer everything to Krishna. This is the teaching of Krishna consciousness movement. This is it. It's not just wealth, though. It's everything. Krishna wants everything. He wants your talent. He wants your humor. He wants your beautiful voice. He wants your beautiful musical ability. He wants your art. He wants your finances. He wants your life. He wants your heart.
Your sweet little butter thumper.
Your butter thumper. He wants your soul. Krishna wants, he wants it all. It's all his anyway. And the interesting, we feel so much better when we offer it to him. When we keep it for ourselves, that's called polishing my ego. Come on. That never makes us feel good. It's the cause of our suffering. You know that, Kaustubha, right? Come on.
Yeah, I've lived there for many lifetimes, Raghu.
Come on, Special K. You know that.
Right. So we should meditate on the goddess Lakshmi being churned right out of the ocean of milk, and she's just like, I'm here for you. That's who I am. She's got no issues, none of the issues that we've got. She's pure unconditional love. It's beautiful. And she appeared like electricity, surpassing the lightning that might illuminate a marble mountain. She's effulgent.
She's effulgent.
We're going to light up, when we become selfless.
She has no issues. We have issues.
That's right.
I got more.
Has no issues.
I got more issues than National Geographic, Kaustubha.
That's right. You heard that the other day on the show. Right? You're biting that one. All right. I think it's time for takeaways. Take it away, man.
All right. Unconditional love is our innate operating system.
Oh, yeah.
Innate operating system. There you go.
The party is in Udaipur and it's ever fresh.
That's right. Mm-hmm. The roof is on fire.
Evolve or repeat.
That's right. Evolve or repeat.
Accept it that things never go as smoothly as you want, even for the devas.
Yeah. They're running for their lives.
Yep.
Refugees. Have faith in Lord Vishnu and keep churning.
There you go.
For every season, churn, churn, churn.
Love is a principle we're meant to discover.
Okay.
All right.
Krishna is waiting for us. Yeah. Krishna is waiting for us to come to his level.
Mm-hmm. He's already there.
Yeah.
Love requires that we are selfless.
Oh, yeah.
In the spiritual world, it's not sickly codependent, it's perfect.
Very good. I'm happy to hear that.
Krishna reciprocates, not exploits.
Oh, okay.
Take care of your spiritual life and everyone benefits.
And
And what's your peace formula, Smarty Pants?
yeah,
I like that. What's
got
your
a better
peace
one?
formula, Smarty Pants?
wise guy,
Oh,
funny
all right,
boy.
Tomorrow, Mr. Kaustubha, guess where we're going? We're gonna hop in the bus at 4 a.m.
Natwar,
and go to a darshan of Srinathji.
Okay, right now I'm gonna just put this. I want a brick. Bring me a brick.
You want a
Somebody.
brick of goodies? Okay.
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
got to pay the overweight luggage fee.
All right,
That brick, it's gonna
$75 for that brick.
expensive sweet. They have sweets the size of cannonballs.
Janesh,
The thing is, I just can't eat that much sweets anymore. My old age, I'm just not. My sweet tooth is dying.
Yeah, but that brick, you eat it. Pass a little bit of around.
We
Please
ate
give me a brick.
at this restaurant that Mukesh said is the best restaurant in all of India.
Wow. You ate there today?
No, 2 days ago in Jodhpur.
And?
Everything cooked with ghee.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. There's like 20 little thalis on the thali.
Oh, one of those things, yeah.
20 little thalis on the thali. Gotta get
That's
Harley
incredible.
Flanagan for a walk on Wednesday to talk about his movie that's just coming out.